knowledge. I've never done anything in life. And I can't learn the book, all the bumps and things. And there's camera off the brain. So people that have been following safari life, it's an extraordinary thing. And for me to be able to is a big through from a non-passion enthusiast is a guy. In the and Jeff Daniels, who I know very, very well. And Dan, loads of people. I've got this. Thank you. It's incredible. Right now, you know what? It's all. Questions. I can wait. The end of January. You've got loads more to see, loads more leopards, loads more lions. The lions haven't been here for about a week, so they'll be back, and the leopards will be back as well. And I had to talk to Scott just before we finished. We were setting up here, and he is going to find that leopard. He is going to find a leopard for you very, very shortly. And Mark is an incredible person too, with great skills. So I don't have any doubt. So we've got a question coming through. Let's go. Excuse me. So one of the things I also have to mention is what we saw live happening. Scott's just putting a lovely bit of and then it happened the next day again. The next morning, VM and I were out. We came over this crest of the hill, and sure enough, the whole pack were walking towards us, pups and all. And I could just tell that intuition just kicked in, that those dogs, the adults, were hunting. They had that fantastic trot as they were running through, and they were looking. And they got down to a spot where we just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I think I did do a little bit of Dukes of Hazzard driving there, and had it going very, very fast in reverse at one point. And I hope the vehicles, I don't know if Graham was watching that one, but I was being firm but fair on Zanelli, the landy here. Okay. There's an elephant just here somewhere. you got your torch on you guys? Let me just get my spotlight, guys. Please just excuse me for a second. This is what it's about. Scott, can I ask a favour, please, mate? Would you be able to just have a quick look through that vehicle? I can't quite see with the lights where that my spotlight is, please, mate. Thanks, buddy. It might be behind the seats or something. It's in a grey bag. Thank you, mate. Or it might be in another bag just on the floor. Control just told me that there's an elephant coming our way, so... and I think we might have a little surprise on our hands as well. So let's just... let's just keep rolling while we're here. But so incredible, those two experiences, and then there's many more. But I just want to keep an eye on what's going on here because it could be quite exciting. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much, mate. Please excuse me, folks. And I'm not going to put this in the camera, I promise you, but there's an elephant somewhere here. Maybe Scott, I could pass you this, buddy, and then you can have a look behind camera because I don't want to shine in people's eyes. But there's an Ellie, and I can see Pete coming as well, so I don't know what he's up to. Something's going on, and that's what's fantastic about these campfire chats. It's just brilliant. It just happens before our very eyes. I'm not sure where it is. Okay, we'll keep our eyes out for that. So, incredible experiences, and they're happening right before our very eyes now. Last time we were sitting here, which is a week ago, there was a beautiful leopard, Kanyuma, up in that tree sitting behind us there. And right there, thanks mate, exactly in that tree. And that was just something that you cannot believe. So to answer your questions, that's just a few of the memorable moments. There's too many to list. I can't tell you how many there were. But what an incredible thing. Incredible stuff. It's been lovely to be able to just have these interactions as well with everyone. Pete and I really do find the interactions socially through Twitter, and they asked us a question and we got to talk to them. That stuff was just absolutely fantastic. It really makes your heart sing when you do those sorts of things. I see lights on the horizon. They're actually more closer than the horizon. Pete's going to be here in about 20 seconds, folks. So I've got an earpiece in. Pete hasn't got an earpiece in, so I'm going to feed questions to Pete. If you've got any questions for Pete as well, or questions for both of us, whatever, we'll share them out. I'm sure it's going to just go a little bit hectic when we both get talking because we're really excited and really passionate at the same time. Okay, we're going to just cross to Pete quickly as he drives in. That's a lovely way to do it. Fantastic. We'll be right back.
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
Yes, you're Stanley.
I see invited the termites as well. That's lovely.
The termites are here. I think we have an elephant here as well somewhere in our midst. How are you, Brian?
Good.
Great stuff.
What a day.
What a day, eh? You had a pretty beautiful elephant encounter, mate. I got you some water, man.
Thank you. Excellent. I'll grab that. Other than that one experience we had together, this is so cool. Sorry guys, this is just like little fairies flying around.
Magic.
Yeah.
Absolute magic.
Other than those elephant that we saw together about 4 or 5 days ago, you remember that little herd we had down to Twin Dams Road? This was, well, firstly it was by far the biggest herd we've seen, so that was fantastic. Just seeing, I estimated in the end maybe 30 odd, 30, 40 maybe.
Yeah.
And then they were a little bit jumpy, but a bit tricky. The terrain was really tricky. It's there behind Treehouse Dam.
It was a little bit nervy, not going too far away from the den entrance, but fantastic stuff. So I've just been chatting to the folks and telling them I've got an earpiece in, questions are going to come through, I'm going to feed them to you. If I go quiet and look into the fire, that will what be happening. I did a bit of a roundup just to say thank you everyone when we closed with Nat Geo Wild, but made sure that everyone stuck around to the fireside chat, because I said there'd be a bit of fun and a bit of some really lovely chats and questions and opportunities. We've got a question coming through. Let's hear it from Will in control. I told you.
Like a math question. I just keep it under 10, the totals, then I can do it. Or exhilarating, exciting to spot, and we talk about this often, but that moment, there's a millisecond, like a moment, you suddenly know you're looking at a leopard. And there's sometimes when you think you're looking at a leopard, and other times when you're not sure and you check and maybe it is one, but generally speaking, you have a little moment. And our first drive to TV was exactly that. 3 minutes before live, we spotted that leopard up in the trees. One of my probably top 3 or 4 spots that I remember forever. And it was just, I mean, you could just see the shape of it. The tree trunk just looked a little bit too thick. And when I reversed, there was that split second, you know, it's a leopard. So probably leopard. But I mean, in the end, anything really. I mean, maybe a tiger, you know, maybe my favorite animal eventually to spot will be a tiger, because that's like a big leopard. But yeah, definitely a leopard, Alexandra. Nice question.
I just said, thank you very much, Alexandra. Pete, and who does it go home with? We're not really sure.
I think it stays.
Or do we give it to Graham Wallington in a frame? And he puts it in his office. You know what? I'll probably leave this with Mark, and we're going back, aren't we?
Yeah, no, this like last drive thing,
Yeah.
and then we're not going to wait 5 years before we come back this time.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be back. This has got just such a beautiful vibe about it and a beautiful feel, and I feel a little bit guilty. I feel a little bit like you know, I've come in at the tail end of all the hard work, and I've just waltzed on in and had this beautiful time. I've got a few people asking the same question. Okay, well, it's a question that, for me, about how does this compare to other presenting that I've done? And Pete's a big part of this question, or actually this answer. That conversation, I think I talked about maybe in the close of the Nat Geo Wild close. I said that Pete actually came up to me and he said, you know, you've done a lot of travelling and everything, and really so many places and so great many stories to talk about. I'm not sure whether it's going to be similar or have the same sort of effect on you. And I didn't really know what he was talking about. When I look back on it, he was giving me this fantastic support and advice in a very, very gentle way, but just wanted me to relax, because he could see that I was nervous. He could see that, you know, I know how to drive one of those. I know how to drive through the bush. I can wax lyrically about animals and my passion and all that sort of stuff and that. But Pete was just a bit concerned that I was worrying too much, and he just wanted to see, be yourself. Just be yourself. Just be exactly as you are and enjoy it. And I just didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do that because with certain types of presenting, you've got a schedule, you've got not a script, but you've got a storyline that you have to try and follow. The story is always king, and you've got pressure on you. You might have time constraints. It might have rain.
Wear the same shirt the whole time.
You have to wear the same shirt the whole time for continuity, and all these different things. It's still fantastic. Don't get me wrong, folks. I promise you.
No, big time. And I hope to maybe out of this, you know, maybe go explore
absolutely,
a few places.
absolutely. But then Pete said, "It's live," and when you hear that word live, you're going to walk into a different world, a different space. And I tell you what, mate, I'll never forget those words. It was the best thing that you could have ever said to me. Because after the first drive, I was just absolutely on fire. Incredible. Yeah, it was incredible, mate. So thank you, bud. That's a
pleasure,
really,
man. It's
really
been,
great
it's
words.
been great fun as well to.
I want to ask you, how does it compare to like what you've seen, particularly I'm just watching the time, mate. So please don't think I'm rushing you. But how does these sort of encounters? I know you've done this for a very long time, but how are these encounters compare to the past? Same, different?
I mean, live compared to with just guests.
No, live, but particularly some of the things that we've seen over the last month.
Well, we've had an incredible run, and it's so nice and so refreshing when someone, and I have to bring up Graham Wallington's name every now and again because he's a great friend now. Graham, as always, fun to be playing with you out here. But he's also he's one of the brightest people I know. He's one of the greatest visionaries I've met. And he knows a lot about wildlife. He doesn't give himself credit, but he knows a lot about wildlife. And he said something the other day, and he said, you know what, I'd never realized that. And it's so cool for me when you can share something with someone and they realize something new. And that was that we arrived here in probably the coolest time of the year to see wildlife. And it's a difficult time because you can't say it's June or you can't say it's November. It is the last few weeks before the first or sometimes the second big rains. And that can shift. It can be as early as September, it can be as late as end of November, December. Because basically before the big rains, it's clear, you can see the grass has been eaten, the leaves are off, it's open, it's hot, it's dry, animals go to the waterholes. And the first week or two that we got here, I mean, it was just like, we were just seeing stuff. You didn't go to a waterhole and not find something. So that's firstly
we've got 4 minutes.
The great time for it. And then I'm very happy that for Big Cat Week, even though it was a little bit tougher to find cats and things like that, we had this just after the big rains when it's all the new growth happening, all the insects, all this, it's alive around you. So this time was great. I think that I tied into the question, but we've got about 3 minutes to say cheers.
We have. I just want to also just say to you folks, I'm getting some messages through. There's loads of people tweeting and emailing, say, can we extend the Fireside chat? That's really beautiful. Thank you so much. It's a real heartfelt thank you to all of you. Unfortunately, we can't because we have a curfew where we're allowed to drive through another national park area or a reserve, and we definitely have some issues there.
We were literally warned, I have to tell you this, by the guys from Manolete saying that the Air Force
2 minutes.
are going to gun us down if we drive later than 8 o'clock. So it's going to be a fun drive back.
Yeah. So we've
and this
got
is
to
not
go.
a joke. I mean, I think they were a little bit, I'm not too worried about it, but that was literally what was told to us. So we do have to keep that in mind.
Absolutely. Okay. We've got 3 minutes to go. Right, I'm going to quickly say a few thank yous, and I'm going to give you the last bit to close, mate, because this is you've got a lot of history here. I just want to thank everyone in the team, and before I forget, I want to thank my wife and I want to thank my son for the support that they've given me to follow my dream. That's been incredibly important, and Nina and Jack, if it wasn't for you guys, I probably wouldn't be here now. And I just have to say thank you to you so much. I love you guys so much, and I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for the support that you've given me. I want to thank all the team here and for taking me in, and the Wild Earth family, you guys through there, for accepting me and bringing me in like you've done and supporting me. The new kid on the block. And I just want to thank everyone at Nat Geo that gave me the opportunity to do this. And most of all, buddy, I want to thank you, mate.
Yeah,
really do.
Same here.
You close it, big man.
Same here. You just have to give me a tap when it comes down to 5
Yeah,
4, 3,
absolutely.
2, 1. I want to start with thanking you.
We've got 2.5 minutes,
for doing this way, for being a hell of a nice guy that stepped into this and just took it on. It's challenging, guys. I'll be honest with you. I saw it with H as well. We spoke about it. It's a strange space to get used to. So, thank you first of all. I feel like I've gained a great friend in this space.
Absolutely, mate.
And I'm going to start with a little bit of the classic thanks. But I want to thank my parents, both of them, and for everything they've done for me my whole life. I've been very fortunate. I'm one of those children that have got great parents.
I'm going to give you the earpiece, and you can hear.
Thank my father as well, because he played a massive role in my understanding and passion for wildlife, and not only that, but in supporting me following it. I came from one of those families where I was expected to become a doctor or maybe a lawyer if I didn't do that. In the school I was at and so on, and I took this chance to go traveling and a lot of things, and he supported this throughout, even though I had a lot of pressure from other family even. So my father, and then Leishan, daar's die kamera. Skadebol, baie dankie vir jou, hoor. Baie dankie. And my 2 children, even though they're too small to realize all of this, family is everything, and the support they've given me in this is phenomenal. Alicia was at home running a boating business, and the family and the small baby and everything on her own. So thank you, baie dankie skattevel. And I want to thank everyone, the team, obviously, guys. Thank you very much, each of you. We'll talk lots about it tonight, I promise. And I want to thank Graham Wallington. I really want to thank Graham Wallington because he's become a great friend, and I know that we can do lots of this together. Thanks, Brew.
Big time.
It really is
big time to Graham.
A big thing. And we'll talk more about this as well, I'm sure, many times. And lastly, in the last few seconds, I want to thank you guys. I say this all the time. If you weren't here sitting with us, we would not be doing this.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank you for what you've done up until now. I want to thank you for being friends, so many of you. And I want to thank you also for being part of what's coming, because I think we're about to go into free fall. You know, I really hope so, because I believe in this as much as anything I've ever experienced. We want to do this. We need to do this. We need to take people to wild places. We can't all fly there. We can't all travel there. You know, fuel's too expensive. There's not enough roads. We need to do this. We need to go explore wild places. We need to share it with each other, because by sharing memories, we will have these incredible things to look back to. So thank you, and we'll see you again, and we'll do more of this in all corners of the world.
Cheers, guys.
Shot, bro.
Yeah, nice one.
That's the stuff.